Hi, my name is Matt Rosu, Dean of the Sigmund Weiss School of Business at Susquehanna University and a professor of economics. I'm on the road today, but the news on inflation just dropped on Tuesday and it had a major impact on the market. I wanted to take some time to help everybody interpret what the news means on these monthly inflation reports. I've had a number of really intelligent people, although not economists, struggle to kind of understand the nuances of these reports and why it matters. So I'm hoping that by taking a few minutes here today, will help you understand how to interpret it when these reports come out and the impact. So first, three key things I'd like you to take away from this video. One is the headline number and what does it mean. So the headline number in this month's report was an 8.3% increase in the Consumer Price Index, or CPI. When you hear that leading number, what that is indicating is the year-over-year change in prices. So when we hear 8.3%, that's indicating prices have risen by 8.3% from August of 2021 to August of 2022. Now, if you've read the reports, and I'll put a link to a Wall Street Journal article, you'd see that says it's down from 8.5% from July to July. It's down 9.1% from June to June, but that key number is the annual inflation rate over the past 12 months. The monthly inflation rate is how much things would change month to month. So the first thing to learn is, what does the headline number mean, the annual rate? The second, prices change month to month. And that can be a little bit different, of course, than the annual rate. It will be different than the annual rate. So how much do prices increase month to month? Well, the month-to-month increases actually got a fair amount of play in the July report. The reports always come out the next month, so in August, because it showed a year-to-year inflation rate of 8.5%, but Joe Biden went out and proudly proclaimed prices didn't increase last month. Well, technically he was right. Gas prices and energy prices had fallen so much that from, basically July 1st to July 31st, on average, our prices didn't increase. Gas prices dropped a lot, other prices increased. On average, no changes. Now, he took a fair amount of heat for that because it was a year-to-year change. It's still 8.5%, which is really high. And, the monthly was only even because gas prices, which are volatile, had dropped. So he took a fair amount of political heat for that, but he wasn't technically wrong. For that specific month, there wasn't any increase in the CPI. So key components, right? There's the annual rate, 8.3%. There's the monthly rate. So each month, to get to that 8.3%, right, it might be up, 0 one month, but then perhaps 0.8, 0.6, 0.7, and you add up those monthly increases, and it would add to the 8.3% increase we've seen year over year from August of 2021 to August of 2022. So first key point, the overall number, the headline number. The second key point, there are monthly changes. The third key point is the difference between the core inflation rate and the overall inflation number. The core inflation rate excludes food and energy prices. Now, of course, food and energy prices are just as important as any other prices, but they're volatile. So economists often pull those out when thinking about trends in the CPI over time. And in fact, this report, the August report that just came out on Tuesday, September 13th, the August report caused a lot of commotion, and it caused a big fall in the stock market because of the core rate. So the inflation rate was 8.3% overall, but the core rate rose from 5.9% to 6.3% on our annual basis. And the core CPI prices rose 0.6% in August. And that was the news the stock market found so troubling, is energy prices are dropping, but the core rate was still going up, and that caused many to think this might be a longer road than perhaps previously thought. So 3 key components I hope you understand that can help you interpret, right? Overall rate of inflation, the monthly changes, and then the difference between the core, which excludes food and energy prices, and the overall CPI rate. Now, why does it matter? Well, it can matter because the stock market can be affected. That's certainly one key way it can matter. I think the more important way that these inflation numbers matter is in real wages. Now, when I teach students, every time they hear the word real, I tell them you need to think inflation adjusted. So when an economist or broadcasters talk about real wages, they're saying, what are the inflation adjusted wages? And in the past year in America, the average worker has taken a real wage cut. So wages have dropped after you adjust for inflation. In a previous video, which I will link to in the description, I talked about the 2022 recession. There's a debate on are we in one or not. I think we're in one. I think this qualifies, although I do think it's a very different recession. But the reason I think this qualifies is on average, workers' wages are down about 3% from the previous year. Now, most recessions, when output drops, what you see is an increase in the unemployment rate. What we're seeing this year is, on average, workers are just making less money, and not a trivial amount, right? 3% is a big hit. So how does this matter? It matters in terms of well-being. Now, if wages keep up exactly with inflation, so if the CPI level is 9% and wages go up by 9%, well then, okay, nobody got raises, but nobody got pay cuts. It's like nothing happened. But what we've seen is the CPI level right now is at 8.3%, but real wages are trailing 2 to 3 points behind that increase. So on average, workers are receiving less money. And that's a really big deal. And I think that's a key reason why these inflation rates are so problematic right now. If you like getting this type of content, these types of updates on the economy, please hit like and subscribe. It'll help me grow this channel so more people see it, and it will help more people view the video as the YouTube's algorithms, the likes and subscribes help to get this in front of other viewers. Also, if you have any questions or if there's topics you'd like me to address, please leave a comment in the comment section. Once again, my name's Matt Rosu, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.